This is tutorial 4-2 in GIS Workbook 2. In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to find what's partially within a study area. And we're going to be doing that by using some selection tools. The first thing, as always, is to add our tutorial map 4-2. And we're going to be looking at floodplains and land parcels in this one. If you continued from the last tutorial, um, from this, I'm starting fresh, so there's going to be an extra step. What Normally everything within the study area here would already be pre-selected. Um, we have to select that now. So what we're going to do is we're in data view, so we can use our selection by graphic. So we just have to select our graphic, go up to selection, and select by graphic. Now this is the study area that we're interested in, but we only really want to know about certain things within that area. And we're going to be working in select by or list by selection table of contents right now. We'll be switching back and forth. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to select by location. And generally it's normally select features from, but we want select from currently selected features. So what it's going to do is it's only going to check these 202 selected features. And we're going to be looking for land use, and our source layer is going to be flood areas. So we're interested in what land use areas are within the floodplain. And we want the target layers features to be selected based on intersect of the source layer. With that done, we just click OK. And you can see that it dropped down to 23. So each one of these 23 land uses intersect the floodplain at least a little bit. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. We're going to type in overlay and search for it. And it gives us this tool set, which we want to open. And they want us to use the union tool. But if you remember from a previous chapter, you can just go up to geoprocessing and hit union up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to add our floodplains and our land use. Now what this is going to do, it's going to create a new shapefile that has just the areas that are selected pretty much. And it's going to combine all their attribute tables into one. So it's more than just creating a new shapefile from selected. And we're just going to call this flood area study. I'm just going to abbreviate it FAS, just because you can only have 13 characters, and I don't like long titles, and it's just a tutorial. So this is pretty much the last time we're going to be using it. Okay. As you can see, it combined all the parcels that were selected with the floodplains. But as you can see, a lot of it is actually outside our study of area. So we have to get rid of that. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to go into the properties. And we're going to do a definition query. And there's two fields that we're going to be interested in: the floodplain zone and the parcel. So floodplain, we don't want the value to equal -1. -1 means that it's not in the study area. And we don't want the parcels to not equal -1 as well. So it's going to go through the attribute table and it's going to get rid of any value or any feature that has a -1 in those two fields. Uh, this symbol right here means not equal. So we're going to hit OK, OK again, and as you can see, it broke it down to there. And that's what we're interested in. Now with that done, what we're going to do is we're going to open up the attribute table. And right now, we're going to right click on the acreage. Right now, it's not in acreage, or in the right units, so we're going to calculate that right now. We're going to change it to the area to be in acres of US units. And as you can see, it's changed them. And now they want us to summarize using the use codes. And we're going to do that by closing that, opening acreage, clicking sum, and we're going to call this use code area. Clicking OK, we're going to add it to our table. And then there's a year turn where they want us to do the same thing but with the zone. And that's right here. Once again, you just right click, summarize, close this, open up acreage, and give it a proper name. And we're just going to call it zone area. And add that to our table. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to open those up. And right here we have the number of units in each one. And then we have the sum of acreage. And we can do the same thing with this one. And your numbers should match the ones I have here. They want us to add this to a table in the layout. We're just going to do that real quick. We're just going to do it as a text like we did with the previous one. Zoom. So you just go to insert text, place it over here. Okay, and we would do land use acreage. And for this, we're just going to put the codes because they don't give us the codes. So we're assuming that it's intended for people in the industry that would know the values. You would only put actual understandable ones if it was meant for the public, or say an individual that isn't a technician or anything like that. It would be intended for like upper management. And then we can do our zoning acreage. 6.3. Two and 3.7. We click OK. With the box highlighted, we can make it a little bit bigger. 16 seems to be good enough. We can close this box and we can zoom into the whole page to see how it looks. And now they have the values for how much acreage the floodplain is affecting those parcels. And you would just turn that off. And that is it for this tutorial.